I spent many, many autumns under trees gathering, and it was kind of a meditation on how we are one and the same as nature, which on some levels that's a very obvious statement. Of course we are, we're a product of nature, but I think the problem is that we often feel above it or separate from it. And by crawling around trying to find all these acorns, you realise that they are just like us. So each one is separate, each one is different, and yet they're all the same, just like you and I are recognisably the same and yet different. Today we're going to do this portrait that we talked about. I've been kind of thinking quite a lot about masks. So taking a face, a little face, and working quite naturalistically with the face originally, and then doing something to it afterwards to change it. Francis Bacon talked about doing injury to the image. So I will try and sort of work on your face, but then it's not going to be a straightforward portrait. I'll do something, and I personally, I don't know when I will do that thing. I don't know whether I'm going to do it.
So today it's going to look different from the final result, right?
No idea. We'll just see what happens.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Right.
And just take here is just across the width of your. Okay, this is all very rough. It's just gives me a little idea of what's happening. Good. Okay. So we start. In 2005, I moved here and I suddenly became acutely conscious of the environmental crisis. I think there was a heat wave that summer. It was kind of like madly hot. And then I think that autumn, the leaves didn't fall off the trees as they should do. I became very, very anxious about the environment. I had this sort of crisis where I thought, is it okay to be making sculpture? The world's in this state and I'm sitting around making sculptures about my feelings or, you know. And so the answer came back pretty loud and clear. Yes, sculpture can be of service. Just to kind of honour the beauty of the planet is in a way a political act and a service. Just by calling attention to the environment.
By your sculpture.
Through the sculpture, that is in fact a political act. The idea being that if you love something, you like to protect it. That's part of the philosophy. And so I was trying through the figures to kind of trying to express that feeling of peace and almost being held by nature. 4 years ago or 3 years when my transition started happening, the refugee crisis was in full swing. I just became very fascinated by the refugee crisis in the sense that you get these masses of people that one could almost filmed like a horde, you know, that these people are coming. And then what would happen is one person would be interviewed, and immediately that person was interviewed, you could see that they were an individual, you know. Maybe they'd left a brother behind, maybe they had a cousin that they were trying to meet. They were obviously just like you and I. So there was this contrast between the sort of political global crisis, the faceless crisis, and then these individuals. I made this piece called What It Takes, which is a set of 11 walking people, really men, I suppose. And I think the question I was asking myself is how little does it take to recognise a human as a human being? In retrospect, I wonder if the crisis I was experiencing was so intense, I almost needed to make work that was entirely positive in order to cope. And now I think I'm stronger and I can let the shadow in. So work that's perhaps more difficult, deals with more difficult human emotions, touches on my difficult human emotions. It means looking beyond the pleasant superficial surface of things and kind of tearing away the surface to try and get at something rawer. I did a sculpture called Running on Empty. She's kind of literally looking inside herself going, well, what's left? If there's any more to give, and you've given a lot as a mother, and then you know, keep producing stuff, it's like, there's times when you go, what's left? I think there's a lot of ways in which I'm interested in duality and opposites. So how something might be both strong and vulnerable, might be both ugly and beautiful, might be both solid and hollow. And I don't see that as separate from the divine. The divine contains both, the intensely good and the intensely bad. Through the drawing, I think I've discovered that that's a very powerful element in what is driving me to make this work. I think the vulnerability in life changes as one gets older, different vulnerabilities, as does the strength. So as the physical strength fades, maybe one becomes more psychically strong. And then the vulnerabilities change. So as one is strong in one's youth, one becomes more vulnerable. So that incredible contradiction between the strength and the vulnerability is what I realised, that's what I'm doing.